There you go, mate.
Ah, good on you, Padre.
You look like you're wearing your hair shirt.
You know, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror before, and it was exactly like looking at a photograph of my granddad, except without the big bushy moustache.
Might suit you. Mind you, you look pretty good as you are.
Marissa, look, it's just about a gas bill.
Are you having a bit of trouble?
It was actually due a couple of weeks ago, but I don't get my pension until next Tuesday, and I'm just...
No problem. Let's go and see what we can sort out. Ben will keep Kieran amused, won't you, Ben?
Yeah, sure. So how you going, Kieran?
Okay, Gus. You got to Marissa's boyfriend.
What? No.
Why are you looking at it like that?
Like what?
You know, kind of goofy. You like guinea pigs?
Guinea pigs? Yeah, I guess. They're pretty great.
I've got one called Hermione. My mum gave it to me for my birthday.
Yeah, my sister and I used to have one when we were kids. It was, called Piggy.
Hermione's white with black patches over her eyes. So will you be working here now?
Me? No, I'm just a volunteer. But I do have a full-time job as a... Actually, mate, I've got to go.
I haven't finished telling you about Hermione yet.
Just in time, Sonia. Beginning to wonder where you were.
Yeah, sorry, I know, I got a bit held up.
I'm putting you on foot patrol with Evan.
Shoplifting watch.
Shoplifting, eh?
The Chamber of Commerce reckons we're having an epidemic.
I'll just get changed.
You with the God Squad again?
Well, you know, just helping out, yeah.
And how is the delectable Captain, Marissa?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Liar, liar.
Pants on fire. Mate, if they've got you in uniform, you're more than just helping out.
Yeah, I've signed up.
But like a parishioner.
No, like a soldier.
That's pretty full on. What's in it for you?
Quite a lot, actually. But it's not what you're thinking, in spite of what PJ says.
Yeah, whatever you say.
No, my family's always been involved with the Salvation Army. It's a tradition. It's just sort of a way of giving something back to the community, a way of helping...
you little...
Hey, Kieran, what's going on?
This is what's going on. The little brat just walked in there and took it. I want him arrested.
You can't charge him.
Why on earth not?
Because he's a 7-year-old boy.
Well, he wasn't too young to steal the treadmill.
Hey, Kieran, was this for Hermione by any chance?
Who's Hermione?
Kieran's got a pet guinea pig. Haven't you, mate?
Look, leave it with us, Mr. Vincent. We'll talk to his parents and we'll sort it all out.
Yeah, a lot of good that'll do. These kids seem to think they can shoplift with impunity. There's an epidemic on.
We know. We're working on that.
Yeah, well, at least you get your property back.
Great. Fine. You know, he's never going to learn if he's allowed to get away with this.
Well, Kieran, what are we going to do with you, eh?
Lock me up.
We'll have to see about that. I think we better have a chat with your mum and dad, don't you?
Dad doesn't live with us anymore.
Look, I know his mum. I can take care of this if you want.
Come in if you're sexy and you got me fags. And I hope it's the right brand this time.
Hello?
You're a copper.
Yeah, Senior Constable Stewart.
Thought you was the taxi driver with me fags.
No, sorry to disappoint you. I'm looking for Stella Hadley.
Not here, love. Gone to the shops. Hey, you haven't got a ciggy on you by any chance?
No, I'm afraid I don't smoke. Do you know what time she's going to be back?
No idea. Why don't you sit down and have a drink with a lonely old lady?
Oh, thanks for the offer, but it's a bit early for me. Listen, when she gets back, can you just tell her to come down to the station because we've got her son down there.
Kieran, what for?
Well, I'd rather talk to his mother about that, please.
Anything you can say to her, you can say to me.
Well, he was caught shoplifting.
Never.
Afraid so. I want to have a talk to him, but we need his parent or guardian with him when we do.
Well, I'm his great-gran, Irene Hadley. So let's go.
You can't just take things because you want them, Kieran. That's called stealing.
It wasn't for me. It was for Hermione.
Well, that still doesn't make it right.
Oh, for Pete's sake. We're not talking the crown jewels here. The kid took a cheap toy, that's all.
This time. But if he's not put straight, next time it could be a lot more serious.
Come on, all kids shoplift. I bet you did.
That is not the point, Mrs. Hadley. Look, Kieran, I am going to let you off this time. but I want you to remember what I said, right?
Right.
Come on, love, let's go home. Your old Nan knows she didn't mean any harm, whatever some people might think.
Ooh, you're leaving already?
Got a problem with that?
No, I just need you to sign out. Boss would like an update when you're ready.
The thing is, boss, the foot patrols, they're not much use, you know, just waiting outside the shops for the shoplifters to come out and bang into
Then
you.
get inside the shops, talk to the managers. See if there's any sort of pattern, any MO.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce been on your back again, have they?
I've just had a call from the supermarket on the St David's Road. They seem to be particularly hard hit. Perhaps you might start there.
What, so we're stepping up the operation?
I think we need to, don't you? Unless we want the place full of 7-year-olds on remand for pinching lollies.
Well, it's a treadmill, actually, boss.
I appreciate the enthusiasm with which you've applied yourselves, but you don't really think that child was running a shoplifting ring, surely?
Well, I don't know. Start pretty young these days.
So do coppers, unfortunately. Just get out there and do something about it before I have the rest of the Chamber of Commerce breathing down my neck.
Rightio, boss.
I think you'd better handle this, Sonia. It's about young Kieran.
I hope not being a nuisance, Ben.
No, of course not.
It's just that I've been talking to Irene Hadley and she seems to think that one of your colleagues has overreacted a bit to a little childish prank.
Oh, it's a bit more than a prank, actually.
Oh dear, it was you.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Kieran was, in fact, caught shoplifting.
But he's only a little boy. I mean, surely that's no justification for treating him like a hardened criminal.
I think Irene's been overreacting. All we
Irene
did
has her
was...
faults, I know, but I don't think she'd lie.
Well, we just needed to make him
When
aware.
you sign the Articles of War, you pledge to care for the needy and the disadvantaged.
Yeah, I know that.
I guess I just hope you take that vow a bit more seriously. That's all.
Marissa?
It's not your day, is it, mate? So these Articles of War, Salvos don't actually expect you to go off and fight, do they?
No, it's a document that outlines what we believe in and how we promise to live.
What, like the Ten Commandments?
It's a sacred vow. Rules to live by.
Sounds like a lot of work to impress one girl, Ben.
This isn't about Marissa.
Ah, someone's not too happy about something.
You were rude enough to park here in the first place, so you can bloody well wait till I'm ready.
I told you, I didn't see the sign.
Oh, yeah, pull the other one.
What seems to be the problem here?
I'm blocked in. You won't let me out.
That's because she's parked in a disabled parking spot. Ask her where a wheelchair is. Go on.
I told you I was in a hurry and I didn't see the sign.
Oh, sure, of course you didn't. People like you make me sick.
Mate, I'm sure we can sort this out without making a big deal out of it.
No, that's where you're wrong, mate. I want to make a big deal out of it. This sort of thing's happening all the time.
Okay, but could you move your car first, please?
No way. Not till I've unloaded me stuff.
All right, I'll give you a hand then.
What's going on?
Oh, this prize specimen thinks disabled parking's for her convenience.
Typical. Look, I really didn't see the sign, all right?
Just be careful next time, OK, Stella?
All right, Stella. All right, I get it. You know her. So she flutters her eyelashes and gets away with it.
Nobody's getting away with anything, mate.
And I want it done for illegal parking.
That's actually up to us, sir.
I bet it is. One law for her and another for cripples like me.
No, you're quite right. Look, I'm sorry about this. You need to get your details. I'll drop it off to you later on today. Well, it looks like the Chamber of Commerce is on the money. Most of the places we spoke to report a 10% increase in theft.
Well, it was nearer 15 at the supermarket.
Mostly luxury food items.
Yeah, just this morning, 5 or 6 different types of imported biscuits, a selection of chocolates and a few bottles of alcohol went missing.
Well, any suspects?
No, but whoever it was knew exactly what they were doing.
So we're probably talking an organised gang.
What's the security like?
Well, it's not great. None of the places targeted had security cameras.
Generally, management's been relying on staff to keep their eyes open. The occasional bag checks, but that's about it. I'd say, unless we get extremely lucky, we've got Buckley's.
Then perhaps you'd better start working on getting lucky.
So this gang, do you reckon it could be a family operating together?
Yeah, I suppose so. Why?
Well, what about the Hadleys?
Oh, come on, what, because of Kieran? No, that was just kid stuff.
No, he could have seen something that Stella did.
Oh, no, you're barking up the wrong tree there, mate.
No, well, think about it. She was at the shopping centre this morning, supposedly shopping. Why? I mean, I thought she relied on the Salvos for food and stuff.
Yeah, but only in emergencies. I mean, they've got a pension that she and Kieran live on.
Yeah, well, maybe it doesn't stretch as far as she'd like.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't.
And what about Irene? Now, there's an old reprobate if ever I saw one.
Just because people are stretched economically, it doesn't necessarily make them thieves.
I just reckon we should be checking them out.
For what?
Look, we're going there anyway, Ben.
Yeah, to drop off a penalty notice, that's all.
Haven't you blokes got anything better to do? Harassing poor Kieran and now handing out fines just for parking in the wrong place.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it is an offence.
Not exactly robbing a bank, is it?
Mum didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. It probably was, but it's just beyond my control.
And how do you think we'll find the money to pay for it?
Well, you can always take it to court. That's your privilege.
Privilege? Listen to him. Take a look at this place. Do we look privileged to you?
Well, appearances can be deceiving.
You can say that again.
Do you mind if we take a look inside?
Inside? What for?
Well, there was a lot
there's
of
been
stolen
a
from the
recent,
supermarket this morning.
What?
Swiss chocolate, English shortbread, small bottles of liqueur,
Are you
creme de
accusing
menthe.
my granddaughter of thieving?
Mum wouldn't do that.
I'm sorry, mate, but this is one of the things that the police sometimes just have to do.
But Mum wouldn't steal.
Then we're just going to have to find out who did, won't we?
We just want to have a look inside.
Over my dead body. You come in here like the mod squad and you try to bully your way into our house.
What's going on? Ben?
They think I've been stealing stuff from the supermarket and they want to search the house.
Listen, there's been a bit of a mistake here. Constable, we're just leaving.
Look, they've got nothing to hide.
Have you got a warrant?
Like I said, if they've got nothing to
If
hide...
you haven't got a warrant, you're not entitled to search. I think that's the law, isn't it, Senior?
Yes, it is. Constable, let's leave it.
Thank you.
Who the hell do you think you are? Bloody Dirty Harry.
They're hiding something, Ben. That's why they wouldn't let us in.
They wouldn't let us in because we didn't have a warrant. Just because people are poor and on welfare doesn't mean that they don't have rights, okay?
Marissa's really got to you, hasn't she?
Don't talk rubbish. Look, I really did not have any choice about Stella's penalty notice.
Why'd you get in the first place? She obviously made an honest mistake.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but the man whose car space she'd taken was justifiably very upset. It was just a really difficult situation.
Yeah, well, I suppose I can understand it. At a pinch. But forcing your way into the Hadleys and then these shoplifting
Look, I
allegations...
told Constable Jones that he was way out of line doing that. Look, it was just a really unfortunate set of circumstances. The police do not make a habit of harassing people. At least, I don't. Hey, Karen. What's up?
Hermione, she's been stolen.
Are you sure?
Positive. I can't find her anywhere.
You told your mum?
Can't. She'll get angry.
Maybe if you explained it to her, she might understand.
I want him to help me.
Ben's a very busy man, Kieran. I don't think he's got enough time to go looking for
But he's a policeman.
And that is one of my jobs. To find stolen things.
So you will?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to pull out all the stops.
So we got one after all.
Got what?
A warrant. It's a bit late. Surely got rid of the stuff by now.
No, I haven't got a warrant.
Then what are we doing here?
It's all right, I got permission.
From who?
Uh-huh.
You don't seriously think that they're going to stash a whole load of expensive luxury food in a rabbit hutch, do you?
This is not a rabbit hutch.
Well, whatever it is. What are you doing?
Conducting an investigation, Constable.
Well, what are we supposed to be looking for?
Signs of forced entry.
Forced entry?
But there don't seem to be any.
But is that relevant?
OK, let's go.
Where?
Back on patrol, Watson. Nothing unusual to report, Sarge, at least not in the last couple of hours.
Well, not unless you count the Great Hutch inquiry.
Well, maybe PJ and Joel will have more luck.
Bet PJ's enjoying himself.
G'day, Kieran. What can we do for you?
I'm here to talk to him.
Hi, Kieran.
Have you found Hermione yet?
I'm still looking into it, mate.
Hermione?
Kieran's guinea pig, remember?
Guinea pig?
Listen, why don't you come through to the detective's room and we can talk about it, mate? Is that okay, Sarge?
Who am I to come between a man, a boy and a guinea pig?
Come on.
What about him?
What about him?
Isn't he helping look for Hermione as well?
Oh, no, he's a bit busy, mate.
But you said you'll pull out all the steps.
Stops. No, look, Constable Jones is a very busy young man. He's got a lot of filing to do.
No, it can wait. Because I really like guinea pigs.
Do you?
Yeah. In fact, they're my favourite animal.
We had a look at Hermione's cage, Kieran. The door was wide open. Are you positive that she was stolen? Maybe she just ran off?
No,
Well, how can you be sure?
she just wouldn't. Anyway, I didn't leave the door open.
You could have forgotten to shut it.
No, I always make sure it's locked. Someone stole her, it's obvious.
Could you tell us what Hermione looked like, Kieran?
She's got black patches over her eyes and one brown on her leg.
Oh, good. Should help.
If we find her.
But you said you would.
I said that we do our best, Kieran.
I tell you what, why don't we take another look at the crime scene? We might have missed something the last time we were there.
So this is how you found it, with the door open?
Yes, just like that.
You sure Hermione didn't push it open?
Yes,
How do you know?
because she was happy here.
Yes, but Kieran, animals can be pretty tricky things. Sometimes they
The
can...
door was tied up with this. I found it lying in the grass. Someone undid it.
Well, why didn't you say so? Sounds like an open and shut case to me, Tanya. Someone definitely kidnapped Hermione.
But you will find her, won't you?
Sure. You leave it to us.
And remember, when we do, tell all your pals to thank Senior Constable Stewart.
And you.
Yeah, but the senior's the man in charge. And people need to know that. People like Captain Marissa. You know what I reckon? It was probably stolen by another kid, someone local.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's a guinea pig, Ben. It's a kid's pet. Oh. These guys might be able to point us in the right direction. Hello, Lucy.
Hello.
It's a nice guinea pig.
Yes, his name's Bruce. Would you like to hold him?
Thank you. Oh, there you go. I like the brown patches around his eyes. He's got one on his leg as well.
They're pretty, aren't they?
What are we heading for?
Ages.
It's not true, Lucy. You only got him yesterday.
I just meant it seems like ages. He really likes me.
And where did you get Bruce from?
She said she found him on the street.
That's right. He was lost and unhappy. But he's all right now, though.
Certainly seems to be. Did you ever stop to think that maybe he might belong to somebody else? Like a little boy who might be missing him very much?
No, Bruce is an orphan.
And how do you know that?
He told me.
Well, I think he might have been fibbing. Because, you see, Bruce is actually a girl guinea pig. And her name is Hermione.
You're not going to take him away, are you?
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I think I might have to.
What's going on here?
Mummy, they want to take Bruce away. Please don't let them. But if I found him, he must be mine. Finders keepers.
I'm afraid it doesn't always work like that, Lucy.
If he does belong to another little boy, you may have to give him back.
But you won't like that, will you, Bruce? He says he'd rather stay with me.
Are you sure? Yeah, he says he'd really like to stay with you. Oh, but he knows that his other owner is missing him very much. Oh. And you really ought to get back to him.
I suppose so.
Senior, Kieran is here with Captain Marissa.
I don't think Lucy meant any harm, and she's treated Hermione, very well.
But she will give her back, won't she?
Absolutely, any second.
See, Kieran, Senior Constable Stewart told you to get Hermione back, and he did.
Just doing my job.
See, you can always rely on the senior.
Hermione! No! money. He's Bruce, and you're not having him.
But Lucy, he said...
I don't care. Bruce is mine, and you're not taking him.
Lucy, please, be sensible.
No, he's mine.
Now, Lucy, come on, just...
Ow!
Sorry, I didn't mean to...
You hurt me. You're not having him.
I know this is difficult, Lucy, but sometimes we all have to do difficult things. You know the guinea pig really belongs to Kieran, don't you? Then why don't you give her my aid to me?
Goodbye, Bruce.
Well done, Lucy. That's a very brave thing to do.
Thank you.
Oh, so this is where you're hiding.
Who's hiding?
What happened out there wasn't your fault. Marissa understands that.
No, she thinks I harass young children and make them cry.
It was just a misunderstanding.
Thanks.
I reckon she fancies you. So my advice is
I
you
don't
get back
recall
in there
asking for anything.
and don't give
Constable-
up. You know what they say.
Constable,
If at first you don't
arrest your
succeed.
mouth.
Look, seriously. Just choose your moment and let her know that you're interested.
Sorry to interrupt, but PJ and Joe are back, and we need to see where we are on the shoplifting front.
5 tins of shortbread, 5 packets of Italian wafers, 5 bottles of Lindt chocolates, and 5 bottles of liqueurs.
So they're working to some sort of system, everything in 5.
Well, not exactly. There's also 2 tins of chocolate sardines went missing.
Sounds disgusting.
Well, they're not real sardines. They're made of chocolate.
Oh, like those chocolate seashell things.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, do you think it means anything?
Well, I know that the shoplifter has a sweet tooth.
Thank you, Jones.
That was Captain Marissa. She reckons some of the stolen goods might have turned up down at the welfare centre.
Well, I can check that out.
Hey, wait, why doesn't Ben take it? Well, he's the one with the salvo connections.
It's okay. I'll handle it. Sergeant says you may have found some of the stolen items from the supermarket.
Yeah, they were left outside this morning with these other donations. And it struck me that some of the items match those your colleague was accusing Stella Hadley of taking. All good stuff. Biscuits, chocolate, liqueur.
Yeah, it could be. So do you mind if I take this back down to the station?
Of course not, especially if it gets Stella off the hook.
I don't follow.
Well, obviously the thieves, whoever they were, got an attack of conscience and decided to give these things to us.
Couldn't it have just as easily been the Hadleys themselves?
The Hadleys are not thieves, Ben. Believe me, I know them. So suspicious.
Yeah, well, I guess that just goes with this uniform.
I guess so.
I want you to know that I'm not normally rough with young kids. Not that I was, but... Look, what I mean is when Lucy didn't give Bruce Hermione
Ben,
back...
I understand. Look, if you don't mind, I've really got a lot to do.
Yeah.
You will let me know if you can't help with the soup kitchen tonight, won't you?
Yeah, no, I'll be here, promise. 6 o'clock on the dot.
Well, this all matches the description, all right, but it could have come from anywhere.
No sign of the chocolate sardines.
Irene Hadley probably scoffed.
If it was the Hadleys.
Well, the captain is certain that it wasn't.
And that was good enough for you, was it?
Did she have any idea who it was then?
No, she didn't say.
You mean you didn't ask her?
Well, it didn't feel appropriate to ask.
Well, I might have a word with her.
People leave donations all the time.
Of expensive biscuits and chocolates.
All sorts of stuff.
So the carton was just lying there outside the door.
Yes.
Was there anyone around? Was there?
There was someone driving away, but it's not relevant.
It might be.
All right. Look, it was Stella Hadley, but it couldn't have been her. I know it couldn't. Look, we've been through all this.
Not with me. Why couldn't it have been her?
Well, for one thing, she's a client of the centre, not a donor. I mean, she's got nothing to give.
She might if she'd taken the stuff from the supermarket.
No. I mean, how many more times? Stella Hadley is not a thief.
I'm really sorry about all this business with the Hadleys.
So am I, believe me.
Look, I'd hate it to, to spoil our relationship.
Relationship?
Friendship, whatever. You do know that I really do admire what you do. But the fact is, I was wondering if you and I might be able to...
You worry me sometimes, you know that, Ben? This business, as you call it, is other people's lives.
Well, yeah, I know that. I understand that.
Do you? Really? But what are you going to do now I've told you about Stella? You're going to bring her in here and question her, right?
Yeah, possibly. Well, yes, but...
In spite of the fact that in all probability she's entirely innocent? But do you know what that's going to do to her?
Well, it's just procedure.
Yeah, to you, maybe. To her, it's authority making her feel worthless and lowering her self-esteem. It must be difficult for you.
Difficult how?
Reconciling your police duties and your work for the army.
Salvo's 1, Copper's 0.
So you're doing it tough at the moment, then?
Oh, well, what do you think? A single mother's pension doesn't get you very far these days.
What about your nan? Well, she'd be on a pension as well, wouldn't she?
Yeah, which mostly goes on booze and fags. Look, I've tried to tell her, but what can you do? Nan's an old woman. She says she needs the luxuries.
So is that what you were doing yesterday? Shopping for Nan?
Stella, most of the items that were left outside the centre came specifically from that supermarket.
Biscuits, chocolates, all luxuries.
Well, I didn't take them. I'm not a thief. You want to know what I was doing? Killing time and keeping warm, that's what I was doing.
Do you do that a lot?
Well, it beats sitting in a cold house you can't afford to heat.
Did Kieran and Nan go with you as well?
Sometimes. Yes.
Well, I think she's telling the truth, boss.
PJ?
Could be a sob story.
Why do we always assume that people like Stella are lying? Just because she's on welfare, we think that she's a thief.
Ben, we work on the evidence and we're not in the habit of judging people by their income.
Yeah, I know. Boss, I'm sorry.
Look, I know you take your work with the Salvation Army very seriously, but don't forget you're a policeman, will you?
How can I forget?
Do we have anything to charge Stella with?
Not at this stage, no.
Then we have to let her go for the moment.
We'll keep an eye on her, though.
So what happened?
When?
With Marissa.
Well, your advice didn't work.
Well, maybe you chose the wrong moment.
Don't seem to be any right ones.
Don't give up at the first knockback. Just get over there to the welfare centre and sweep her off her feet.
I don't think so. I'm going over to help with the soup kitchen, and that's all. And now I am running so late.
Present. Nice work.
No, it's a new guinea pig. It's for Lucy.
That's even better. That'll definitely get you back in the good books.
This has nothing to do with Marissa. It's for Lucy.
Look out, everyone. It's a raid.
I'm sorry I'm late. Can I get you some more cutlery?
Yeah, please.
Like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth.
All right, that's enough, Irene.
He deserves it. Dragging my Stella down to the cop shop and accusing us all of being a gang of thieves.
Hey, that's not fair, Irene. In fact, I spoke up for you.
Not loud enough by the sound of it. What are you cooking up now? Some other way of getting at us?
You've been drinking.
At least I can sleep at nights. And what have you got in there, eh? False evidence to plant on me when I'm not looking.
Don't be silly, Irene.
Go on, show us.
No, it's nothing.
I'll take a look myself. It's Hermione.
No, it's not. It's another guinea pig.
I don't understand.
It's for Lucy O'Donnell.
That's a really nice thought, Ben.
Well, the guy down at the pet shop said that it's a male, so, she can call him Bruce.
I should be over the moon. Why'd you go and deliver Bruce right now? Irene can give me a hand. After a few coffees. Right, Irene?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Thanks. Lucy. Hi. Look, I know that you must be a bit grumpy with me, but I've got got something for you. Meet Bruce 2.
For me?
That's what he says.
Oh, Bruce, I knew you'd come back. Mum, Uncle Jamie, look what I've got.
We've been targeting the wrong family.
Yeah? How do you reckon that?
This? I found it in the O'Donnell's backyard.
What, the wheelchair bloke?
Mm-hmm. Benny, they could have bought it legitimately.
Oh, it's a pretty big coincidence, don't you think?
You sure you're not just trying to shift the blame away from the Hadleys?
And why would I want to do that?
And don't blame me. It's pretty obvious to everyone how you feel about Marissa.
Yeah, I don't think that's got anything to do with anything. I do happen to agree with Marissa that the Hadleys have got nothing to do with it, and I think the tin proves it.
Maybe we should have a word with the boss, eh?
It's not just the chocolate sardines, boss. If you think about it, the O'Donnells fit the classic blueprint for a shoplifting gang.
How's that?
Well, somebody to act as a decoy while the others do the thieving. Bloke in a wheelchair, it's a pretty good decoy.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose.
And let's not forget that Lucy is good as stole that other kid's guinea pig. I mean, where did she pick up that kind of behaviour?
Well, grandmother make a pretty good decoy, and Kieran was the one caught shoplifting.
I still think that the O'Donnells are worth checking out.
Yeah, all right. Can't do any harm.
Alison O'Donnell does have prize, and guess what for?
Shoplifting.
Give the man a prize. Yeah, minor stuff a few years back. Got a good behaviour bond.
Fine, but we're going to need more than that.
How about this? I checked out Jamie, why he's in a wheelchair. Apparently it was a car accident. He was driving an uninsured, unregistered vehicle on his own property.
So no compo.
Exactly. He's got nothing to live on except an invalid pension for the rest of his life.
Well, it sounds reasonably solid to me.
Well, it's still mostly circumstantial. I mean, look, especially the chocolate sardines. That kid could have got it from anywhere.
No, not necessarily. Apart from totally disgusting me, I was so intrigued by the idea of chocolate sardines, I made a couple of phone calls. Well, apparently, the supplier only supplies a couple of the big city gourmet stores. This delivery to our supermarket was a one-off.
Which means it's unlikely that the O'Donnells obtained them elsewhere, legitimately or not.
And it turns out that the supermarket has had a bit of trouble selling them. Surprise, surprise. The only tins to actually leave the store are the two that were stolen.
Well, Alison O'Donnell could have picked them up in Melbourne. Well, apparently she goes down there fairly frequently.
Does she? That's interesting.
Why?
Well, so far we've got no evidence that these stolen goods have been unloaded locally. So maybe the O'Donnells have got an outlet in Melbourne and Alison makes the deliveries.
Maybe.
Yeah, but the only way to prove that would be to actually catch them in the act.
Can I make a suggestion, boss?
Yeah, be my guest.
If the O'Donnells are shipping the stuff to Melbourne, then I reckon they'd have to do it pretty soon after the shoplifting expedition.
So?
So if we can find out the date of Alison's next trip, then we'd have a rough idea of when to stake out the local stores.
Yeah, but how do we get that information?
Well, you ask her.
How's he getting on?
Good. Aren't you, Bruce?
Look, bought him some tucker.
Thanks. He can have them for his dinner.
Well, he certainly seems happy enough. Probably do with a bit of cage, though.
Hutch.
Oh, yes, of course, Hutch.
Mum said we can get him a new one tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like that. You know, there's a really good pet shop down in St David's.
A proper one from Melbourne.
Melbourne?
Mum's gone down first thing in the morning.
Is she? Great.
What are you doing?
I can't do this, it's wrong.
Will you stop blaming yourself?
I just tricked an 8-year-old girl.
Marissa doesn't have to know. OK, bottom line is somebody is stealing from local shopkeepers. Is that right?
No.
Is it our job to do something about it?
You know it is.
And if Lucy's family's innocent, then we won't catch them in the act, will we?
They've bolted. Go.
Which way?
Supermarket.
Mount Thomas 509 to Mount Thomas 208.
208 receiving.
We lost them.
You've lost them how?
Don't ask.
I think they're heading towards St David's Road.
Evan, go straight to the supermarket. We've got to assume that's where they're heading.
Receive that 900. So we're just going to sit here? Or are we going to get there ahead of them? Ben, it doesn't have to be a choice. As a copper, you've always been a bit of a salvo. And she'll find that out.
Where are you 208?
I'm Rubshing Creek.
Where?
Just pulling into the back entrance now.
Okay, well you better hurry up. They're already in the supermarket car park.
PJ Jones, you and I have come in through the back of the store.
Receive that.
There's no signs of the suspect as yet. Oh, damn.
What is she doing here?
I don't know. But if she's still here when the O'Donnells arrive and Lucy sees her...
Yeah, it can't be helped. Here we go.
Okay, let's get him. Hang on, they're not leaving. They're going up to the bottle shop. PJ, they've gone inside the liquor store. Jamie and Alison are putting...
A lot of alcohol in the bag on the back of the wheelchair.
Excuse me, little girl.
It's Lucy. Looks like she's creating some sort of diversion.
Excuse me, not allowed to open them. You're going to have to be paid for now. Sorry about that.
I'm not paying for them.
It's store policy.
And Jamie's heading outside.
Fine. It's $12.99, thanks. Thank you.
Go, go, go. We're coming now. Marissa, not now. Please, it's going to have to wait. Mr. O'Donnell, hold it right there.
What's all this? What's going on?
We have reason to believe that you are in possession of stolen goods.
Rubbish. We bought some stockings. Show them, Ellie. And the receipt.
Just for a stocking, see?
Well, I don't believe that that's all you've got. What about in there?
What about it?
Lucy. Lucy, come back here. Lucy. Hey.
What's all this about?
No point denying it, is there? We've been doing it for months.
So you did have an outlet in Melbourne then?
Oh, a mate of mine owns a mini mart in St Kilda.
Well, you wouldn't have made much money then. 50% of the store value at the most.
Not even that after expenses. Joke is, this was going to be our last job.
Then, Jamie, what was the point?
This old mate of mine's stuck in a bloody chair just like me. No compo, no one gives a rat's. So we thought we'd show the bastards. And we did.
Just there. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Am I going to be sent to prison?
I don't think so.
What about Mum and Uncle Jamie?
Well, I don't know. Probably not. Lucy, can I talk to you about something?
If you like.
Did you want to see someone?
Yeah, you, but it's all right, I can wait.
Lucy, you do understand that what you did, that taking things is wrong, don't you?
I was just helping Mum and Uncle Jamie.
Yeah, look, I know that it wasn't your fault, but you have to promise me never to do anything like that ever again, okay?
Okay. What about Bruce?
Bruce?
Can I keep him, or will I have to give him back?
No, you can keep it. Bruce is yours. But you do understand the difference between right and wrong, don't you?
Go now, Lucy.
Didn't do much good, did I?
You said the right thing, Ben, and that's what's important. You never know, you probably impressed her more than you think.
Do you think that?
Yeah, I do.
So what did you want to see me about?
Tonight, we're running our first trivia night at the centre, and I was wondering whether you'd give me a hand to set up.
Glad to. Next thing I know, she is my new sergeant, and I am fast becoming the oldest senior constable in the force. I mean, how dumb can you get?
Oh, that'll teach you to chat up strange women.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I don't like people who can laugh at themselves.
Yeah, well, I got a lot to laugh about. If you didn't laugh, you'd cry.
Oh, you're such a nice guy, you know that?
Nice enough to go out with.
Out? You mean like on a date?
Yeah, I mean like out on a date.
I don't know about that. Perhaps it wouldn't be such a good idea.
Why? I mean, I thought you liked me.
I do, it's just... Well, you know what the rules are in relationships as well as I do.
Yeah, I know, but there's no rule saying that two people can't go out on a date.
I know, but it is very clear about no sex before marriage.
Marissa, I made a vow to be celibate, but I didn't promise not to fall in love. Well, you know what I mean.
So, where are you taking us on our first date?